Hello, welcome back to Let's Talk Title with Emerald Coast Title Services. I'm host and president of ECTS, Dion Moniz.
I am Ashley Bowen. I am a licensed title agent and the director of operations here at ECTS.
All right, so today we're going to give you yet another legal update about a law that's coming into effect as of October the 1st. The governor signed it into law May 29th, but it's not effective until October 1st. And it effectively is a flood disclosure requirement now for all sellers to provide to buyers either prior to or at the time that the contract is entered into for sale of residential property.
I like this one.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I think it's a good one. So the seller has to disclose if they have or have not ever filed a claim with an insurance provider related to flood. And that they have never or have not ever received federal assistance from FEMA for flood damage. But also, they have to sign something stating that it has never temporarily, partially, or completely inundated the property with overflow of water from tidal waters, runoff, or sustained standing water from rainfall.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I mean, not only are we saying we haven't ever made a claim, but we're also having to say that our yard's never flooded.
Well, and I think the inundation that they talk about is inside the structure. I think if the yard gets flooded, I think that's okay. But if the structure itself sustains any sort of water accumulation, or I like that they use the word inundation, I think that's what qualifies. So it could be, because here's how they define the term flooding under subsection 3. It says, for the purpose of this disclosure, the term flooding means a general or temporary condition of partial or complete inundation of the property caused by any of the following: overflow of inland or tidal waters, and again they use property. So, and I take that to mean the actual structure. I guess we'll find out. Anyway, so overflow of inland or tidal waters, the unusual and rapid accumulation of runoff or surface waters from any established water source, such as a river, stream, or drainage ditch, and then sustained periods of standing water resulting from rainfall.
That tells me outside. But, so I had a contract just cancel last week because of foundation issues, because of standing water around the foundation, because they didn't have gutters. Gutters are important.
Yeah.
But it caused a foundation issue.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a great thing to have to disclose to people if you have standing water around your property or in your property.
So let's talk this through, Ashley. So section 1, where it talks about whether you have or have not filed a claim with an insurance provider relating to flood damage on the property, and they keep using the term properly, and it's not capitalized. But thinking through this with my lawyer hat on, you're only going to file a claim with insurance if the inside is flooded, because that's going to result in damage that you have to come out of pocket to pay for. So in my mind, the intent of this is to cover flooding inside the house or the home, and property, not capitalized, is the structure. But I see your point where it could be...
The foundation is part of that structure too, and you could, I would hope that you could file a claim with your insurance company if you have like a sinkhole or something.
Well, sinkholes are a whole nother animal, but
caused by water damage.
Consistent damage in the yard that causes damage to the foundation, that would be a homeowner's claim. So, well, you brought up something I hadn't thought about, so I guess we're going to have to see how this plays out.
But this tells me right now, currently, in Form Simplicity, there is not a flood disclosure form.
Right.
So Florida Realtors is going to have to come up with a form, I believe, in order for the sellers to be able to disclose on a form. So hopefully that form will come out before October 1st, 2024, so that we can all review it and see what it has to say, what they're talking about. The normal seller's property disclosure is pretty specific. It's long. They ask really good questions. So hopefully this one will be the same.
Yeah. Well, and interestingly enough, by the way, the statute number, if you want to read the full statute, which it's not out yet, but it will be 689.302, and half of the statute is the actual disclosure that has to be provided. So it has to be in that form. So I assume the form that is going to come out is it has to have that section. Hopefully it'll have something else explaining it as to, what property they're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Defining.
Inside, outside, or all of the above.
Defining the property.
So just keep in mind that, again, coming down the pipe, October 1, you're going to have to start disclosing to your buyer, either before or when it goes under contract, you're going to have to provide this form. I guess it will be an attachment to the contract, because it specifically says that it has to be provided prior to or at the time the sales contract is executed. So I don't know if the contract will have...
And it says must complete and provide a flood disclosure, which is telling me that they're going to provide some kind of flood disclosure form for the sellers to fill out.
Yeah. Whether it's an addendum or something that where the buyer acknowledges having received it,
And if October 1st comes around and we have not seen Florida Realtors put out a form, then call us. We'll be able to at least take this statute and create the form and send it to you guys.
Yeah, we will make sure that you sellers are compliant with the law. If there's not a form out by the time this comes around, we'll have our own form that we're going to provide to the parties at the time it goes under contract, so that no one gets in trouble.
Okay, good deal.
Because we're good at that stuff.
Yeah.
So
that's why we keep you around.
Yeah. Thanks. So again, takeaways. There's a new disclosure that's going to have to be that is going into effect October 1, and you have to disclose whether you have or have not ever filed a flood claim with your homeowner's insurance. 2, whether you have or have not ever received federal assistance through FEMA, basically. And then 3 is just a definition of flooding. So those 2 disclosures are 2 items that you have to say whether you have or have not done those items. And that's it.
Mm-hmm. That was a good one.
Short and sweet, but we thought you might want to know about it as soon as we found out about it. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. As always, please like us on our social media outlets and our various podcast channels. And until next time, see you later.